Well, good morning, Las Vegas. It is Monique Buchanan, the host of the Welcome Home with Monique show, aka the Monique Buchanan Show. Listen, this is where we talk all things real estate and community. All right. So you guys already know that I tell you real estate in all 50 states. The way I'm able to do so is my team spreads out through all 50 states and in 24 countries. Okay, you guys? So today we're taking a trip to the beautiful Pac West, baby, where I'm from, Seattle, Washington. So joining us today is none other than my brother-in-law, Mr. Dennis Rossignol. And I hope I said that right because he's going to kill me. He lives in Alki Beach in Seattle, Washington. And you guys, when I tell you, if you have never been there, it's one of the most beautiful places in Seattle that you ever wanted to go to. So if you do take a trip to Seattle, you definitely want to check out Alki Beach. All right, so we're going to talk about what's happening in one of the country's most unique real estate markets, which is Seattle, and how it compares to here in our beautiful city, Las Vegas. So welcome to the show, none other than my real estate agent brother-in-law, Mr. Dennis Rossignol. Did I say it right, Dennis? Are you going to kill me? I love you, bro.
You got it.
All right. So welcome to the show. I'm so glad. This is, we've been waiting to do this. We wanted to make sure we had all our ducks in a row, right? So I'm just going to jump off by asking you a couple questions so that my listeners can understand why I love you so much as my brother-in-law. You're just an amazing man, amazing person. You love the Lord like I love the Lord. We are both driven to get into this business by none other than Jesus Christ himself. Okay. And honestly, it might sound cheesy and corny, but that's okay. Because the Lord says, if you're ashamed of me, I'll be ashamed of you. So I'm not ashamed. I know your story. I know your testimony, why you decided to get into real estate, and it lines up with mine as well. So I know that you will take care of my people the same way that I try to take care of them here. So with that being said, tell us a little bit about yourself, Dennis.
Well, Monique, as you know, I've been an entrepreneur for over 25 years, and I've been serving people for that long term on a one-to-one level, dealing with dealership principals, managers, and it's something that I really love to do is serving people.
Right.
And so today I'm a realtor with EXP, and I'm serving the Seattle area, West Seattle, Bellevue, and the surrounding communities. And one thing I got to say is that what clients appreciate is they know I don't believe in high-pressure sales.
That's right.
I believe in education.
Yes.
And I believe that people are better informed, they make better decisions.
That's right.
And that's what I want to help people do.
Absolutely. And that's where we line up at. I'm not going to hit you over the head. I'm not going to be blowing your phone up trying to get you to buy a house, honey. That's why I got into real estate, because I figure by the time you call my number, you've already made it up in your mind that you're going to sell that house or you're going to buy a house. That's just not me. And I'm not knocking any salespeople out there. You do your thing. It's just not my personality. You know what I mean? We're here to educate you. I pray and hope that you see all the effort that we're putting in on this show to educate the community, and that you'll respect that, appreciate that, because you're going to say, hey, I've been listening to Monique and her show for 5+ years. She's been dropping great nuggets. Now, if you decide to go a different route, hey, I'm not going to hit you over the head. So I'm with you on that. I believe in educating, because the more you know what I mean? The more confident you're going to be when you make that decision to purchase. And I don't like my clients to be in the dark. So that's why we line up so well. And yes, you have another business for 20+ years in Seattle. And I was so excited when you decided to go on and jump into the real estate space, because you are also an investor. You used to buy properties and flip them. So you're already in the know of how valuable it is to be invested in real estate. Are you not?
Exactly. I thought about that. And even though I'm newer to the industry as a licensed broker, you already
have the knowledge.
Yeah, I spent so many hours studying the Seattle market, contracts, negotiations, and all that. And so this is just something that I'm driven to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So with that being said, tell me something. In Seattle, out here in Vegas right now, I'm going to tell you straight up, it's a buyer's market. It is a flat out buyer's market. Our rates are, higher than normal. And the sellers are right now very common, obviously depending on the price point, but they are giving up closing costs to assist the buyers to purchase their properties right now. It's a stark difference between 2019, where me and my buyers were walking around. We were offering $20,000, $30,000 over list price. We were waiving. Well, I wasn't. I went against that, but other agents were waiving appraisals and things like that because it was a fight for the house, right? That was 2019. It is completely flipped now, where the buyers are able to get closing costs. The buyers are able to negotiate things that if there were 10 buyers behind them, they would otherwise not be able to. So let me ask you, in Seattle, right? Totally different market, because you can't just, put everybody in the same basket, right? So Seattle has a different market than Las Vegas, but I would imagine that it still is a buyer's market. Am I right or am I right?
You're
or
right.
Am I wrong?
Let me tell you, it's becoming more balanced than it was a few years ago.
Okay.
And what we're seeing is that well-priced homes, if they show well, they will still sell quickly.
That's
while
good.
If the home is overpriced, they tend to sit longer. So if they're pricing it correctly,
then yes,
that is what's the most important thing than ever. And I'll give you an example. The house across the street from me went on the market for a little over $1.7 million.
Mm-hmm.
And they priced it right. They gave themselves room for negotiating.
Right.
And it sold, and I think it sold within the 30 days
nice.
of being listed for $1.625.
Sweet.
So pricing correctly is more important than ever.
Well, you're absolutely right about that, but I have to point out to my listeners that you live in a very prestigious, sought-after area. Honey, when I go visit you and my sister, I'm looking at ferries crossing the ocean. Like, it's gorgeous, right? You have the beautiful view of the Puget Sound. You can walk to the beach. This is a very sought-after area within Seattle, Alki Beach, right? So I have a lot of retirees that are listening to this show right now. I've got a lot of business owners that are, listening. And you know what? Let's just start with that. You have got to price the property right. That's for sure. But I will say this: my first time home buyers, my second purchases, basically, anything basically under $600,000 right now, that's moving a lot quicker than anything over here in Las Vegas, right? A lot of people, my investors, are sitting on their hands right now because we just don't know what's going to happen. It's very unpredictable. I'm pretty sure everybody understands that. We don't know. The war's on, the war's off, the war's on. And that really affects the housing market, because when the war is on, it tends to drive up our mortgage rates, right? So that obviously makes buyers either get unqualified, or they have to take a step back, or they have to lower how much they're able to look at. It really affects the market. And I'm talking about in that price point.
And in fact, speaking on the interest rates, even what we're noticing is that it's definitely changed buyer behavior. Mm-hmm. But instead of the buyer asking, what's the biggest house I can buy, mm-hmm. they're asking, what's my monthly payment going to be?
Yes.
So the buyers have become much more payment conscious.
That's right.
Homes are still moving, and
mm-hmm.
we just have to keep doing our job and educating them.
You're right about that, Dennis, and you're absolutely right. So, and that's one thing that I'm honing in as well. And like you are with your clients, listen, we want to make sure that you're comfortable with this payment. Okay. So focusing on the payment, making sure that you can pay it no matter what. Now, we do have the programs that will allow you to have a cheaper payment for the first 3 years. But at the end of the day, I need to know, and Dennis needs to know, that even though we're fighting for you and we're getting those closing costs from the seller to pay for this program, we need to know that, God forbid, the rates don't come down in 3 years, which I think is unlikely, but you never know. Are you comfortable paying that payment that you would have had from day one? You need to be comfortable, because at the end of the day, we don't need you mad at us 3 years later, 2 years later, and we don't need you struggling to make your payment, because foreclosures are on the rise. And I think that the reason that foreclosures right now are on the rise, Dennis, is because a lot of people did not do that. They just bought straight up without any any kind of recourse on the payment per month. So what I was doing for the last 2 years, I think I spoke to you about this. I was putting all my clients in what's called the 3-1 buy down, the majority of them, because I was able to get closing costs from the seller here in Las Vegas. On average, I'm able to get $8,000 to $15,000 on in closing costs for my buyers right now. And once again, this is $600,000 or less. Okay, so I've been doing that all day long for my buyers. And what we do is we take those funds and we apply it to this program that will basically lower their monthly cost on their mortgage for 3 years, waiting out, allowing them to wait out for the feds to lower these rates. So my clients, the majority of my clients are okay right now because, hey, they did the 3-1 buy down. And we all knew that the rates were coming down. But guess what? Hey, out of nowhere, he decided to start a war. And that unfortunately has nipped it in the bud when it comes to lowering those rates. So right now, we don't really know when they're going to lower the rates again. And we're right back to square one. So the people that did not do the buy down, unless they were already prepared to pay, which they should have been, which I've had those conversations, you need to be able to pay this mortgage that is out the gate what it was supposed to be. Because you just don't know. There's no way, we can't guarantee anything, right? So, but unfortunately, a lot of people were not, and they were really banking on what the feds were saying, which was they were saying it every chance they got on the TV that they were going to lower these rates. Unfortunately, they lowered them all the way down to 5%. We were about to go to 4%, and then the war started. And they shot right back up to 6.5%, and they have not come down since, really. You know what I mean? So with that all being said, the point is nobody can guarantee you anything. So like you said, you want to make sure that you're comfortable with those rates. At the end of the day, you want to make sure that you're able to pay that mortgage even if there was no rate decrease. Right, Dennis?
Correct. You hit it right on the nail. You know, when I first bought my first home, and it was 8%.
Oh, yeah. That was like normal back then, right?
Oh, yeah, it was normal. And then when it dropped down to 7 and then it dropped down to 6, we were excited.
Right.
How can we get rates like this?
Right. You know, it's so funny because I tell people we're so spoiled, right? Because back in the day when my dad was buying houses, 12% was normal. I mean, realtors were bragging if they could get you a 8% or 9%. They were bragging. But we've just been so spoiled with these rates. And we're like, oh my word, it's almost 7. This is crazy. And I get it because it plays a major part on what your mortgage cost is per month. So I get it, you know. And if you're just tuning in, this is Monique Buchanan. This is the Monique Buchanan Show, aka the Welcome Home Show. And I have none other than Mr. Dennis Rossignaw. He lives in Seattle, Washington on Alki Beach. He's also my brother-in-law. Dennis, what is your phone number so they can reach out to you if they're thinking about buying or selling in Seattle?
Well, you can reach me directly at 206-786-0098. 206-786-0098.
And if you guys didn't catch that, you could always reach out to me and I will definitely plug you with him, just like I will with any of the 50 states, you guys. In every part of this country, we have sold property in Costa Rica, okay? We have sold property in Florida, all over the place here. My people, they love me, they trust me, and I'm grateful for that. I don't take that lightly. And so I make sure to put you guys in good hands when you're moving across the country. If you know somebody that's thinking about moving, he knows his market. He loves living there. And so, in fact, what is the median price out there for Seattle, Washington? I know that there's a lot of pockets around Seattle. Obviously, the median price where you live is a lot, more expensive than the regular Seattle area. But what is the median price out there in Seattle, Washington right now, Dennis? Just kind of educate my listeners on what it looks like moving up to Seattle.
So to answer your question on that, it depends on the neighborhood. Many parts of Seattle, $500,000, it might buy you a condominium or a townhome.
Did you? I'm sorry. Wait. I'm sorry. Let's. I gotta stop you. A lot of areas in Seattle, $500,000 is the median price for a condo.
Yes, in a lot of Seattle,
it's like LA.
$500,000. Yeah, it's going to buy you a condominium or a townhome.
Wow.
But I let people know that if you're willing to look at the surrounding communities, then you're going to find a lot more options.
Okay, so like Auburn, where my sister lives, like Auburn, or how about like Tacoma, What is that like? How many miles is that outside of Seattle, Dennis?
Now, how many what?
Like how far is that? What, 35 minutes outside of Seattle, Auburn? I think we sold, because I know we just sold a house. What was it, 550 to your daughter, and she's in where is she at? Puyallup, and that was what, 550? What is that? 35 minutes? 35 minutes out of Seattle.
Yep. She's about 45 minutes out. She's more towards Tacoma, and then as far as condominiums and things like that, if you're looking for that waterfront lifestyle, even all the way into Tacoma. They're anywhere from $1 million up.
Wow! So if you live on the water in a condo, the condos are like $1 million plus.
Yes. But now here we have a few little gems. They're smaller, older condos.
Okay.
That are in the high 300,000-400,000 range.
Where's that at?
That's right here on Alki.
What?
So there's still some lines, but they're the smaller, older ones.
I'm sorry.
For people that want to live here.
You guys, I'm sorry. This is taking me back because I just was up there 2 weeks ago and I was grabbing my beautiful niece, Aubriana, from you guys and bringing her down here to be with her cousins. And you never mentioned to me that I could buy something for $300,000. You guys, look, all my family and friends, because I consider my listeners family and friends, honey. They're going to take a seat real quick. Wait a second now. Let me talk to Dennis. $300,000, I could have something at Alki, Dennis, and you never said anything.
Yeah.
Hello.
I might have had that thing in my head, like I want this one for myself.
Oh, okay, that's what it was. Because I'm like, wait a minute. I have mentioned time and time again, I would love to own a little something over there. Because let me tell you guys real quick about my sister and my brother, about where they live. They can walk to Alki Beach. Which, in fact, can you tell them about all the festivities and all the things that happen right there in your community? Because it's just so beautiful. You guys, I fly up to Seattle when I'm not going up there to sell houses. I still fly up and just crash with them so that I can work on the beach. I will stay with them and walk down to the beach. And then I just bring my laptop and I hang out on the beach and just work because it's so beautiful, you guys. But you speak on it. The benefits of living where you live, and you're telling me that somebody can own that kind of a lifestyle for as little as $300,000? What?
Yeah, a little higher on the 300,000 range, and on the higher end to 400. But what I like to tell people, Alki Beach, it's like when people find out about it, they're surprised. They never knew that it existed.
Yeah, it's like a hidden gem.
You can be sitting up. Oh, yeah, you can be sitting on the beach and you see downtown Seattle. You see the Space Needle. It's just beautiful. And then we got restaurants up and down the strip.
Salty's on Alki is there. You guys, when I did a live one time.
All kind of stuff happening here.
Well, you got to tell them about the ferry. So you guys, when you're when you're living in Alki, okay, you've got a ferry that will take you across the water to downtown for a minimal price. You have all these restaurants up and down and along the beach where you can hang out on the beach and then just walk right across the street like you're in Miami. And it's gorgeous, right? Really chilled, dog friendly. Everybody is so sweet down there. Everybody's walking, jogging. They have volleyball tournaments. You know what I mean? They've got just everything down there. But you and Tanisha, which is my sister, you guys took me down there, and then you took we took the ferry over, and we hung out and had a good time downtown, went to the fish market, all the things of Seattle, and then we hopped back on that ferry. Well, I did a quick video of downtown Seattle. People thought that was AI. That's how beautiful the scene was. It is gorgeous. And then you told me, Dennis, that you do the fishing thing. What's that fishing thing where you guys do it every year off of Alki Beach?
So where we took that water taxi to go across the downtown, we go squidding off of that dock right there.
Right.
So the squid migrate in. They'll be migrating in towards the end of August, early September. And we do that at nighttime. And you're lying shoulder to shoulder. If you've never done squidding, you're shoulder to shoulder with a line dropped in the water with lights shining in the water to attract them. Mm-hmm. And it's a blast.
It was so cool.
It's the best calamari you will ever eat.
Honey, fresh calamari. So yes, ma'am, with a little bit of Louisiana seasoning.
Yes.
It was, listen, So you guys know I was born in Seattle and I was raised here in Vegas. You know what I mean? So Vegas is my home, but it's about the lifestyle. Now you guys go to Chelan quite a lot as well. My sister and my brother-in-law, Dennis, they are huge wine lovers. They love wine. They're all into it. I just love it. And then another thing about where they live, specifically Alki Beach. So we talked about the beach, but right up the street from them, maybe they could also walk there, honestly. But like 3 minutes away, there's like a little downtown area where they have all these beautiful restaurants. And they have, what is it, that place that you guys bought the membership to, where you took me to sip wine and you have yeah. Tell them about that.
Yeah, so that's Darby's winery. And so a local winemaker here in Washington State. It's something for us to do when we just need to get away and we want, a nice vibe and a nice atmosphere. We just head down there, we get our free tastings, and then we'll buy a bottle of wine and just enjoy ourselves. And what I like about it in our community, it's pretty tight-knit community overall, because West Seattle, where we're at, it's almost like we're on an island.
Yes, it is.
That's the feel of it. It's very dense. There's a lot of people packed into West Seattle.
Yeah.
And
but it doesn't feel like that.
It doesn't feel like that. It's not at all. And we meet people every day, have wonderful conversations with them. And that's what wine does. It just brings people together.
It does.
And we really enjoy that.
Yeah, and then that's why you guys go to Chelan as well, which you can sell in Chelan as well. So tell them a little bit about Chelan, which is like, so that's Eastern Washington. About how long is that drive? 3 hours? Like for Vegas, it's like going to LA, right?
Yeah, that's about a 3-hour drive, and we go there a good 6 to 7 times a year. And we're members at several of the wineries over there. And I've been to Napa Valley before. I tell people, Chelan is one of the most beautiful areas of vineyards. It's mountains surrounding it, and then you have all of the vineyards and the rolling hills, and then you're looking at the third largest lake in the United States, 1,500 feet deep, and it's glacier fed, and that water is just gorgeous. In the summertime, it has kind of a turquoise hue to it,
like Lake Tahoe. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful.
Like Lake Tahoe.
Lake Tahoe.
It's like Lake Tahoe.
Yes, it's just beautiful. It's stunning. And I'll tell you what, you guys always talk about Chelan. And so you can also, now what is the median price point in Chelan? Because that is another hidden gem. We're just breaking out all the hidden gems, I hope,
Oh, yeah. So what's happening is a lot of people on this side of town, the west side, they're selling and then they're retiring and buying in Chelan. But Chelan has a high price point like Seattle.
Oh, okay.
So that's why people are selling their homes.
What's the medium price?
Over there,
what is that medium price point for Chelan?
I had an opportunity to buy a home back in 2020, a little small Rambler, 2-bedroom, and I just wasn't ready to make the decision. We talked about this before. I really kicked myself because it's a block and a half from the marina, and where you can go swimming, and then it was a block and a half to the downtown Manson, where the Manson side of Chelan is it's like family over there. Like, we go there so much, we're treated like the locals. Right. And we love it. But I would say that house that I was going to buy is now over $500,000. So on average, you're $500,000 and up. Yeah. Up into the millions.
So yeah. And that's just for a normal, like, 3-bedroom, 1,500 square feet kind of house for $500,000, right?
Yeah. You might not even find it for $500,000. When you start looking, I was just looking at the market over there, and there was a white Tudor house down towards Chelan downtown, and that was going for about $800,000.
Yeah, that sounds In Seattle, the medium price point is, what is it again? The medium price point in Seattle, if they want to just buy maybe just a regular, 3-bedroom, I don't know, 1,400 square feet home, just a regular house in actual Seattle. What would they be looking at for that price point? And most of the houses in Seattle are no HOA, right?
Yeah, no HOA, but that's between like 700, 800 grand for a median price home now. Yeah, I have friends that bought a house, and it was a few years back, and this thing is tiny. It's a tiny little house, and it's more towards White Center, and they were over 500 grand buying that house, and that was several years back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, you guys, okay, I want to tell you, hey, thank you so much for coming on, Dennis. We're going to have you come back on again so you can really drop some more nuggets about Seattle and the surrounding area, or even pretty much Washington State. And like I said, even if it's not in Seattle, maybe it's Spokane, maybe it's, somewhere else. Tacoma, we're able to take care of you guys. That is my home, honey. I have plenty of connections for you up in that way. But again, Dennis, give them your phone number slowly and clearly if they have questions, as well as your email address as well. One last time.
Phone number is 206-786-0098. And my email is dennisrossignol@gmail.com.
Can you spell that?
DennisRossignol@gmail.com.
Perfect. And then your phone number one more time slowly.
206-786-0098.
Okay, you guys. So if you are thinking about moving or selling any property out that way, you've got his information. But once again, if for some reason, you're not able to remember that or whatever, you can always, reach out to me, 702-984-3700. Okay, guys, so real quick, let me pivot, and I want to thank you, Dennis, but hang in there with me real quick. I want to shout out my listing for this week, 9535 Bella Cita. That's Citta, Bella Cita. This property is in the Mountains Edge community, all right? It is a 6-bedroom. It is almost 5,000 square feet. They have over 40 palm trees on the property. They have put in a pool on that property. It has RV parking. Over a 12,000 square foot corner lot in a gated community. We're talking, the streets are like Durango and Blue Diamond, but it's actually a little bit further south on Durango. Even has a casita. So we've got RV parking. We've got a casita. We have the pool in the backyard. I mean, everything is done. There's nothing for you to do. They even upgraded the driveway and the RV parking with pavers. They have custom doors. They remodeled the kitchen 3 years ago with the Viking stove, the Sub-Zero refrigerator. All the things are done. Double way entry. You have your private staircase going up to the master. 9535 Bella, Bella Cita. Every other property that's anywhere near that area, the cheapest one I could find was 1.6. If you want to book a appointment, Becky is going to go ahead and take you through and show you that property. We love you guys. We are so appreciative of all the support you guys have given us over the last 5 years. I don't take it lightly. Every single time I talk to one of you and you say, Mo, I've been listening to you for the last 5 years. You don't even know what that does for me. I really appreciate it. It just validates that God is real and that his word could never be void. So I love y'all. And until I hear from you, if you have any questions, my number is 702-984-3700. And again, if you're thinking of listing your property or purchasing a property, we are here to help. 702-984-3700. This is Monique Buchanan and Mr. Dennis Rossignol up there in Seattle. And we wishing you a wonderful weekend. Thank you, Dennis.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on the show.
Love you. We'll have you on again. All right, guys, have a blessed weekend. We love you. And until we hear from you.